Hello everyone, I welcome you all to today's Focus of the Day session. Today we are going to talk about a very famous personality, Aung San Suu Kyi, who is from Myanmar. And right now, she is there in news because of some infamous incident. We shall be discovering about the whole incident and more facts crucial from UPSC CSE perspective related to her. In the following sequence, why it is a news, who is she, the 8888 uprising, followed by the prelims and mains based practice questions. But before that, I want you all to be informed about the Polity and Ethics Foundation Course 2023 by Nitin Shivare sir of Analyst IAS, which is going to begin on 18th and 29th of August. The seats are limited, so inquire about the admissions on this particular number and get yourself a slot booked as soon as possible. Now, moving forward towards the news. So, Myanmar court has given a verdict against Aung San Suu Kyi for 6 years of jail under the charges of corruption. Now, what kind of corruption charges are these? What was the backdrop of this particular case? So, the court found her guilty of misusing fund from a health and education organization named Daw Khin Kyi Foundation, established by her in the memory of her late mother. She faced charges of building a home for the organization and leasing government-owned land to it at a concessional rate. She has been kept in a solitary confinement in the capital city of Naypyidaw. And why she has been kept in this particular way? Because she is a political personality in Myanmar. She has already been sentenced to 11 years in imprisonment for other cases. So she is already under this particular solitary confinement arrest. Now, who is Aung San Suu Kyi and why have I told you that she could be very important from UPSC CSE's perspective? So, Aung San Suu Kyi was born in 1945 in Burma. Now, she is a politician, diplomat, author, and a 1991 Nobel Peace Prize laureate who served as the state councillor of Myanmar. So Burma now is known as Myanmar, and the state councillor is a counterpart to the Prime Minister of India. And she also served as the Minister of Foreign Affairs from 2016 to 2021. She has been serving as the chairperson of the political party of Myanmar National League for Democracy since 2011 and is the youngest daughter of Aung San, who is known as father of Myanmar, just like Mahatma Gandhi is known as father of India. She was detained before elections in 1989 and house arrested for 15 years, which made her one of the world's most prominent political prisoners, because spending 15 years of her life in house arrest was a really big deal to fight for one's country, and that's why she also went on to have the Nobel Peace Prize. And looking at her contributions towards her nation and the methods she chose for the same, she is also called the child of Gandhi. Now, let's talk about the 8888 uprising. So, Aung San Suu Kyi became famous through 8888 uprising. The 8888 uprising is also called the People Power Uprising and included a series of protests throughout Myanmar. So, why these protests were being held? These were being held because of the withdrawal of currency notes without compensation. So, demonetization happened in India. But what would have happened if you were not getting the new notes or the currency allowed in circulation instead of or in exchange of the currency you were possessing from the banks. If you were not getting and your currency was futile thereafter, what kind of a anger and aggression you would be having towards the government. So this kind of thing happened in Myanmar, and withdrawal of currency notes without any compensation led people to protest. These people faced police brutality, economic mismanagement in the country happened, a totalitarian one-party rule of Ne Win was there, and a lot of corruption was going on in the country. So 8888 uprising was happening against all this menace happening in Myanmar, which ultimately led to the resignation of Ne Win. And this particular 8888 uprising was being led by Aung San Suu Kyi herself. Now, this was all about her from UPSC CSE's perspective, and also I have covered for you the reason why she is in news herself currently. So she herself is being sentenced to jail because of the corruption charges. In the current case, she is being sentenced for 6 years, while she is already serving imprisonment or solitary confinement for 11 years for other cases. Now, let's look at the prelims based practice question. With reference to Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project, consider the following statements. Number 1, it will connect the seaport of Kolkata with Sitwe Seaport in Myanmar by sea. Number 2, it will reduce distance from Kolkata to Mizoram by approximately 1000 km and cut travelling time to 3 to 4 days for transport of goods. Which of the following option are correct? Your combinations are A, 1 only, B, 2 only, C, 1, both 1 and 2, and D, neither 1 nor 2. So the answer is C, both 1 and 2. Both the statements are correct with respect to the Kaladan Multimodal Transit Transport Project. Now, let's look at the mains practice question. So, Myanmar is the cornerstone in India Act East policy. Comment. You need to answer this particular question in 250 words and send in your answers to us on WhatsApp to get them reviewed. This is it for today. I shall see you again tomorrow. Till then, take care, stay tuned. Thank you so much for joining in.